I'm Paul, half of Dads and Dice, and today we're going to be taking on Unmatched Adventures, Tales to Amaze. We're going to be trying to stop the alien invasion that's going on in this little town. Let's go ahead and go to the top down. We'll see you in a second. All right, so here we are. We've got everything set up for the Martian invaders side of the board. And so in this play, we're going to be playing Golden Bat and Nikola Tesla, again, trying to stop this Martian invasion, and also going up against the Loveland Frog and the Blob, who are going to be adding some stuff into the deck and just kind of making it a little bit more challenging for us to play the game. So this is a cooperative or solo game. We will be playing it solo, two-handed solo, as you can see. And so this pretty much works just like any other unmatched set, except that these characters, the villains, will be doing stuff on their own. So we do have this initiative deck here. This is going to determine whose turn it's going to be. So we will flip one of the cards over. And when we flip this initiative over, it's going to say Martian invaders, player 1, player 2, Loveland Frog, or the Blob. Whoever it is will then take that turn. So you'll be able to see here that these cards, they're split up into different sections. So it has who the villain is, right now what they're going to be doing, and then at the end of round, what they might be doing as well here. So the Martian invader is going to take a turn. So they're going to move up to 3 spaces, and they're going to move to the closest hero or closest fighter. They will then take a turn. And so they will flip over one of these cards. It's going to have 2 sections. It's going to be a dual use card. So if they attack, it will have a symbol on there for how strong their attack is. If it's a defense, it has a how strong their defense is. So we'll just kind of keep going back and forth. In order to win the game, we do not have to defeat the minions over here. We only have to defeat the villain before the invasion occurs. So this threat marker up here is going to be advancing every now and then. So this card here, at the end of the round, it says advance the threat marker a number of spaces due to how many aliens are on the board. And we'll explain kind of how that works throughout the game. So as this threat marker advances, once it reaches here, we start flipping these tokens over, and these just make the Martians' turns a little bit more powerful. So that is just a kind of brief overview of the game. The Martians are starting off with 20 health. The minions both have 10 health here. Golden Bat here has 18, and Nikola Tesla here has 14. So how do they play? Nikola Tesla, who is starting up there in section 1, he is a ranged fighter, and what he does is he has these coils down here, his Tesla coils, and so we start off with one of them charged. And so at the start, you have one charge. At the end of your turn, you charge another one. And then at the start of your turn, if both of them are charged, you deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter adjacent to Tesla and move them up to 1 space. So we kind of want to have both of these charged and be close to opponents at the end of our turn. Golden Bat over here, the first superhero, they are a melee attack. So if they don't take a maneuver action this turn, you add 2 to the value of its attacks. So he gets stronger if he stays kind of in the same spot. And that's pretty much it there. We will go ahead and get started and start taking our first turns. All right, so after a quick shuffle of the initiative deck, we're going to go ahead and do that and see who will be going first. So first up, we have the Martian invasion, and this is wave 2. So there are 3 different waves of the Martian invasion, just for the player count. Actually, there's 2, I'm sorry. There's 1 per player. So there's 2 Martian invasion ones, and then just the normal one. So they should have 3 turns, this one. But it says any player may discard a card. If no one does, add an alien to one field bordering the Martian invader space. So, with that being said, we actually did not draw our cards, so we should have 5 cards each. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then over here, Nikola Tesla has 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can discard a card. And if no one does, then we start getting some Martians in the field. So let's see what Nikola has here. So Nikola does a lot with these coils. That's actually what 3 of these cards are here. It says after combat, you can discharge them to add more damage. Same thing there. This scheme, move all opposing fighters up to 2 spaces. You gain an action. These are honestly pretty good. Maybe we'll get rid of that one if we need to. Let's look at Golden Bat's cards here. Maybe he can throw one of these away. After combat, look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, put them back in any order. That could be useful. That could also be one that we could get away. After combat, deal a damage to each opposing fighter in your zone. Immediately, fighters cannot leave their space for the rest of their turn. Choose a card, your discard pile, shuffle it back. We want to keep that one. And then this one is your opponent discards a random card. That's not bad either. So you know what? Let's go ahead. We're going to discard this one and just get rid of the Sight Beyond Sight. We're just going to get rid of that card. So since we discarded one, we do not add any Martians onto the player board. All right, so that is the first turn there. We'll go ahead and go to the next one. And this is the blob. So the blob is going to be taking a turn. And so they're going to move 3 spaces. And that looks like they can make it 2 Golden Bat here. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3 spaces. Oh, actually, that is not connected. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. There we go. This is the way they'll go. 1, 2, 3. And they will make it right there next to Golden Bat. All right, so they are going to attack. So we'll place a card here face down. And we have to now use something to defend. Now, the only thing here is this is the only one that I have to defend. I could take it. I could try to defend it. Honestly, at this point, I'm at 18 health. I think we just take it and see what happens. So the blob is doing the caustic spray. So they're dealing 1 damage, and we decided to take it. So we're down to 17. And it says, after combat, deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter for each acid token on or adjacent to their space. So there are no acid tokens. These will get added on at the end of the round here. We're going to put it on the blob space if there isn't one there already. So that is their first turn. And now we will see who takes the next initiative. All right, so player 2 will be going now, and that is Golden Bat. So these are my cards. I'm right next to the blob. First thing we should do is probably, well, I guess we could maneuver at the end. And he's got 3 maneuverability. Alpine Forest, choose a card in your discard pile, shuffle it into your deck. Draw 2 cards and move Golden Bat up to 4 spaces. That's pretty good. But I don't think we need that right now. You know what? Let's go ahead and attack first. Let's attack for this one. It is just a 2 damage, so vaporizing eye beams. After combat, your opponent discards 1 random card. So we will play that here. And we are attacking the blob. So the blob will block 3. So they're defending 3. So unfortunately, no damage goes through for that attack. But I do have an after combat, and that is your opponent discards 1 random card. So that one gets discarded. And then they're going to discard from the top of the deck. And that is an acidic explosion, which looks like it would have done 4 damage. So that one goes away as well. So that was my first action. Ooh, I'm sorry. I forgot. So he blocked 3. I did 2. My special ability is adding 2. So I did do 1 damage because I had not taken a maneuver action this turn yet. So they did get 1 damage. That's cool. That is very cool. And now I'm going to go ahead and do my maneuver action. So I will move 2 times. I'll move 3 times. Let's go this way. 1, 2, 3. And then I will draw up my cards. Okay. Now it is back to the initiative over here. And it is going to be the Loveland Frog. So they're going to take a turn. They're going to move up to 3. So they're going to move up to the closest fighter. So they're going to go right there. And right now they are going to, let's see, Nicola. They can block 2 or block 3 after combat. Could do some after combat things here. You move the opposing fighter 2 spaces. You may discard coils. So both aren't charged. We would like to have both of them charged. So we're going to do this one. We're going to do kinetic induction. So it says after combat, charge 1 coil. If you won the combat, charge both. So we'll see, possibly we can charge both. We'll play that there. The Loveland Frog is going to go. And they're dealing 1 damage. So we're blocking 2. So we take no damage. That's good. And then we're going to charge a coil. So we did win. We could have charged both of them, but we didn't need to. So, all right, awesome. That goes there. This one goes away. And now we have player 1 taking a turn. All right, so this is Tesla now. And Tesla says at the start of your turn, if both coils are charged, they are, deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter adjacent to Tesla and move them 1 space. So the Loveland Frog here is going to take 1 damage. And we get to move them 1 space. So we'll just go ahead and move them over here. All right, and now it is our turn. So this is going to be our discard pile over here. Ooh, actually, and move them up to 1 space. So you know what? We don't want to move them, actually. We're going to keep them here. We're not going to move them. Oh, they're ranged. Yeah, that's okay. They have 2 movement. Let's see. So in order to attack them, they have to be in our same color. All right, so we are going to move them here. And then we will, what color is this? Green. Oh man, if we could move twice, that would be very good. Okay, I think I have an idea. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to play this scheme, and this says remote control. So it says move all opposing fighters up to 2 spaces, gain 1 action. So we're going to move this one, 1, 2. We're going to move this one, 1, 2. So this one we can move twice as well. Let's just move the blob kind of over here. All right, so move all opposing fighters up to 2 spaces, then I gain an action. So I still have 2 more actions. So that one will be used. For my next action, I will go 1, 2, and then I'll draw up my card. And then I'm going to go ahead and play this card here. That is a Lightning Storm. It's 3, and if I spend both coils, I can deal 2 damage to each opposing fighter in my zone. So that would be this one and this one because they're both in that gray zone. So we're going to play that. And we are attacking the Loveland Frog with it. Ooh, so they're blocking 3. That's okay. So after combat, I'm going to discharge both of these. And I'm going to do 2 damage to both of them. So that will be 2 damage here to the Martian. So they'll be at 18. and then 2 damage here to the Loveland Frog, so they'll be at 7. And then the Loveland Frog says after combat, if the Loveland Frog won, they did not. So that's it. That goes away. Okay. And then at the end of my turn for Tesla, I charge a coil. I think that was a pretty good move, right? So we played a scheme, we maneuvered, and then we played this one. I like that. Okay, and now it is going to be the Martian Invader. And so the Martian Invader takes a turn. They're going to move to the closest person, so that's right there. And then they will flip a card. What is Tesla going to do? Let's use this one. They're going to block 3. And so this is an intense experimentation. After combat, draw a card. You may discard coils. Instead, draw 2 cards if I do 1. If I draw 2, it's 3, and I recover a health. So we'll probably do 1. So they're flipping there. They're doing 2 damage. We are blocking 3 of it. This symbol right here is not available yet for the Martians, so they skip that. It says, after combat, deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter in the Martian invader's zone. So they will get 1 damage. Tesla will get 1 damage. And then over here, Tesla is going to spend a coil. And we're going to draw 2 cards. All right. All right, so Tesla's sitting at 13, Martians are 18, Loveland Frog 7, 9, and 17. And then the last card here. This is the Martian Invasion Wave 1. All heroes and sidekicks adjacent to an occupied field take 1 damage. So none of these fields are occupied. If no fighter took damage, add an alien to the lowest numbered empty field. So this will be our first alien on the board, and it's going to go here to the field 1. Okay, so we have completed all the initiative. Now we're going to look for end of round abilities. So the blob here says place an acid token in the blob space if there's not one there already. And these blobs just say take 1 damage. So that will go there. End of round there. End of round for the Loveland Frog. Deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter adjacent to Loveland Frog. There is no fighter adjacent to Loveland Frog. Opposing fighter, that would not be that one. And then add a Loveland Frog Strikes Again initiative card to the deck before you reshuffle. So we will be adding 1 of these, and they're just going to be taking more turns as the game goes on. Nothing there. Martian Invader, advance the threat marker a number of spaces equal to 1 plus the number of occupied fields. So 1 plus 1 because we have 1 occupied field. And then that is the end. So we went up here, we did 1 and then 1 because of the occupied field, and then no more end of round abilities. These will be shuffled, and we'll go ahead and start the next round. Okay, I think we're doing decent so far. I don't know how we're doing. We'll see. Let's go ahead and flip the next initiative deck here. So this is player 2 takes a turn. Okay. Like a flash of golden light, during combat, if Golden Bat shares no zones with the space he started this turn in, the card's value is 4. He can move up to 3. We do have to move. And right now he can't reach, he can reach the Loveland Frog. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. He can't come over here. Could be boosted. Choose a card in your discard pile, shuffle into your deck, draw 2 cards, move Golden Bat up to 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. That might be okay. That would not be a maneuver action. So I'd be able to do a stronger damage. I think that's what we're going to do. We are going to play this scheme card, the Alpine Fortress. And we're going to choose a card in our discard pile and shuffle it into our deck. So we've only got these 2. Let's do this one because it works as a defense also. and then draw 2 cards. Then move Golden Bat up to 4 spaces. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can actually play this card here. So this one is actually going to be, because there is no starting spaces that he started in. So that is 4 instead of 2. And then +2 because he did not take a maneuver action. And then after combat, we can move 5 spaces. So we're going to do that. Oh, yeah, that's my 2 actions. So now this will be my second one. So the Martian will block here, and they're blocking with a total of 3. All right. So like I mentioned, we have 4, 5, 6. They're blocking 3, so they will take 3 damage. After combat, if Golden Bat shares, no, yep, we did that. After combat, move Golden Bat 5 spaces, and then after combat, they do 1 damage in the Martian zone. So Golden Bat will take a damage. They're down to 16, and then they get to move up to 5 spaces. Let's go. Let's see. I think the blob moves 3. Let's go to the Loveland Frog. They have not attacked yet. Let's just go over here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's try that. Okay. 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. All right. Next up, we have player 1. Cool. So Nikola Tesla. So at the end of my turn, I should have charged a coil. Both of them are not charged. Man, I kind of just want to... I think we're just going to do this. We're going to play 7 Hertz. Yeah, we're going to play 7 Hertz here and try to do 4 damage. And we're attacking the Martian. And they're blocking 1. Cool. So they're taking 3 damage. They're down to 12. And then after combat, place the Martian invader in a space bordering the highest numbered empty field. So in a space bordering the highest numbered empty field, they will go... Doesn't matter. They'll probably go here, because they're going to need to move to somebody. And then my after combat says you may discharge coils, 1 to gain an action, and then also to draw a card. I don't want to do that, but I will maneuver, and we'll go twice. We'll go 1, 1, 2. Let's do that. We'll go 2, and then we'll draw up our cards. And then at the end of your turn, I will charge a coil. Yeah, that's okay. All right, so now next up, we have the Loveland Frog. They take a turn. So they're going to move up to 3. So 1, 2, 3. They will put this card. Tesla is going to... I don't think we're going to block it. I think we're just going to let whatever go through. And they're going to do 1 damage. So we're down to 11 to 12. There is no after combats or anything like that. So that was it for the Loveland Frog. And that's their turn. Ooh. Yeah. If I start my turn next to them, then I get to do a damage to them. But that's okay. We'll figure that out in a little bit. Next up, we have the Martian Invasion Wave 1. All heroes and sidekicks adjacent to occupied field take 1 damage. We are not adjacent to it. If no fighter took damage, add an alien to the lowest numbered empty field. So, number 2. Okay. Next up, we have the Loveland Frog strikes again. They're going to take a turn. They're going to stay there. They're going to attack. I think we're just going to take it again. Why not? The Loveland Frog will do 0/0. Okay, so this is actually the Deception card, and every bad guy has a Deception card, and it's a 0/0. So what this is it just says the Loveland Frog was a hoax, or whatever minion was a hoax, and this lets you reshuffle your deck. So we're going to go ahead and get this. We're going to reshuffle that deck, and that was fine. That was good. I am okay with that turn of events. Next up, we have the Martian invaders. They take a turn. They're going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And they will take a turn. We're going to play this Imposing Presence, which immediately cancels all effects on the opponent's card. And so they are going to play 3 damage. We're blocking 3, so perfect. Then after combat, place the Martian invader in a space bordering the highest numbered empty fields. That is canceling the effect. So they do not do that. And we block all of it. Pretty good. Okay. And then up next, we have the Martian Invader 2. Any player may discard a card. If no one does, add an alien to 1 field bordering the Martian Invader's space. Discard a card. I think discarding would be okay. Let's discard. Let's just get rid of one of these repulsion blasts. If no one does, so somebody did discard it. And then up next, we should have the blob. The blob takes a turn. They move 3. 1, 2, 3. Nope. So they cannot make it. So what they do instead, because they will not go in the same spot there, what they do instead is they move the threat track up. Right, so that will get moved up to there. Okay, so now we do end of round abilities. Nothing here. Deal a damage to each opposing fighter adjacent to the Loveland Frog. So Tesla will get a damage. And then we add a Loveland Frog Strikes Again card. Nothing there, nothing. Advance the threat marker a number of spaces equal to 1 plus the number of occupied fields. So 2, 3. So that's 1, 2. Now, whenever we reach this top part here, we were there, we were supposed to go 3, we did 1, 2. We actually stop keeping track of it, and it just goes to there. We don't bump up anymore, and this will flip over, and now that symbol is available. So if this symbol was available the time this card came out last time, they would have been able to do that ability at the top, the during combat ability. So now since that's available, any card that has that symbol will get used. Okay, and then place an acid token in the blob space. If there isn't one there already, there is one there. That's it for them. All right, so now we're moving on. This will get all shuffled up. And we will begin our next round of play. So our Martian invader has 12 health. We need Golden Bat to go. All right, so we'll start here with our initiative. It's going to be the Loveland Frog. They're going to take a turn. We're just going to let Tesla take it again, and then this will probably be the last one that we let him just take. So 1 damage. So that's a good thing about the Loveland Frog here. He at least doesn't deal a ton of damage, but he can go quite a bit. So, all right, next up initiative, Martian Invader. They take a turn. They're going to stay there. They're going to attack Golden Bat. And so they will play this card. And we will play this one here. So this is Sight Beyond Sight. It's going to be blocking 2. They're doing a 3 damage, and that symbol is available now. So it is actually +2. So this is 5. We're blocking 2, so that we're taking 3. And then after combat, place the Martian Invader in a space bordering the highest numbered empty field. Ugh, dang it. I didn't want them to move. So they will go there. And then for us, look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, put them back in any order. So we'll look at the top 3, and we'll put them back in any order that we want. There's the Deception card. This next one is 4. These are pretty bad. We're going to make the Deception one come next. These go away. And now it is time for the Loveland Frog. I guess Tesla really should block something here. So we are going to do this one. And this is the Repulsion Blast. Loveland Frog is doing 0 damage. That's the Deception card. Of course, we shouldn't have done that. But after combat, move the opposing fighter up to 2 spaces. I don't necessarily want to move them. Maybe I'll move them here. And then you can discharge coils. I don't want to discharge anything. Okay, so the Loveland Frog is getting shuffled again. All right, come on, guys. Martian Invasion 2, any player can discard a card. No one does. Add an alien to 1 field bordering the Martian Invader space. We're just going to add this on there, I think. Yeah. Okay, up next, it is player 2's turn. All right, I think that's what we're going to do. We are going to play this scheme card. So arrive just in time. Place Golden Bat in any space. So they're going to come here. They're coming down here. And then we are going to play... We're going to play this Punch to Shake the Earth. No. We're going to play this Terrifying Roar. Oh yeah, they have a Deception card coming up. So this one will deal more damage. This one will deal the same amount of damage, and it will damage the blob as well. Okay, so this, since I did not maneuver, is going to be +2. So we're at 3. The Martian invaders are going to attack, or we're going to block, and it is the Deception card. So that is 3 to them, so they're down to 9. And then it does say after combat, deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter in your zone, and if you won, deal 2. So these fighters are both in my zone, so we'll deal 2 to the blob and 2 to the Martian invasion. Okay, not bad. I like that. This is going to get reshuffled because it was a hoax all along. And to get rid of these Martians, you do a maneuver action, and that maneuver action will clear them from that field. Okay, so up next, player 1. All right, so player 1, start of their turn, both coils are charged. They're going to deal 1 damage to the Loveland Frog. And then they're going to maneuver 1, 2. We're going to clear this Martian. We're going to drop that card. Man, that would have been nice to go there. You know what? We would have boosted that with this one, and we would have got one more movement. Okay, so they're there. So now we are actually going to attack the Martians. And we're going to play this X-ray radiation. And for this X-ray radiation, so we're right here. For the X-ray radiation, it's 4, but during combat, I can reveal the top card of my opponent's deck, and then I can discard coils to add its boost value to the card's value or discard that card. So this one will go here, and it is blocking 4. So that's 4. But during combat, reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, and its boost value is 1. We will discharge both of these coils to add 1 damage. So that will do 1 damage to the Martians. And then I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this one just goes back on top because we didn't discard it. So that will just go back on top. And that was a 2 attack, 3 block. Okay, so blocked most of it, but that's okay. That will go there, and then this one will go there. All right, so that was both of my actions. At the end of my turn, I will charge one of these. And now we'll go back to the initiative. Martian Invasion 1, all heroes and sidekicks adjacent to an occupied field take 1 damage. So Golden Bat will take a damage. So that is that. The Blob takes a turn. So they're actually going to attack Golden Bat. I'm just going to take it. I'm going to see what they got. So they're doing 1 damage. It is a caustic spray. After combat, deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter for each acid token on or adjacent to their space. So there is an acid token there. So they're getting 2 damage to Golden Bat. Okay. Not the worst, not the best. And then finally here, the Loveland Frog. They're going to move up to 3 spaces. So they will go 1, 2. Ooh, and Tesla has nothing to block with. So they will do 1 Tongue Lash. And so they move to here. They'll do a Tongue Lash, which is 1 damage. And they're sitting at 9. Tesla's sitting at 9. End of round effects. Deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter adjacent to the frog. So Tesla gets 1, and then we add this one in there. Advance the threat marker a number of spaces equal to 1 plus the number of occupied fields. There's 2 occupied fields. So that is 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Nothing. Place an acid token in the blob space, and then that's it. The Martian invader is at 6. I think we just kind of have to go hard here and see what happens. Okay. Martian invasion. Any player may discard a card. We're not going to, so we're going to add an alien to this field here. Martian invader takes a turn. Advance, so that's at the end. So they're going to take a turn. They're going to get Golden Bat, and I don't really want to block anything because this is my only card. So this is going to hurt. But it's a 2. They don't have that symbol. So we'll take 2, and then after combat, deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter in the Martian invader's zone. So that's 1 damage to each of them. So Golden Bat will take 3. He's at 7. And then Nikola Tesla will take 1. Okay. The Loveland Frog, again, unfortunately, I'm going to let him attack Tesla. That is a 2 damage. It's at 5. After combat, place the Loveland Frog in the closest empty starting space, then deal 1 damage to each adjacent opposing fighter. So the closest empty starting space, I believe, is here. and deal 1 damage to each adjacent opposing fighter. There is nobody adjacent to that. Come on, we need to go. Loveland Frog takes a turn. They're going to move 3. They're going to go here. They're going to go to Golden Bat. I can't do anything. They're doing 1 damage. Okay. Player 1 takes a turn. All right, good. So Nikola Tesla is going to play this Death Ray. And since we have a charged coil, it is going to be a value of 5. All right, and the Martian Invader is going to block 0. That is a deception card. Look at that. Nice. That was awesome. So they're going to take all 5, so they're down to 1 health. That was that was real big. Okay. I like that. And then Tesla's going to maneuver to draw up a card. And so they will maneuver. They're just going to go 1 back, and they'll draw a card. Oh, and that's a 5 card, 5 value card. Okay, come on, player 2. Player 2, this should be it. So there's Golden Bat. He is not moving. So it's going to be +2. So this should be a 5 attack. And the Martian is going to block 2 of it. So that's 3. And that brings the Martian down to 0. Immediately, fighters cannot leave. After combat, place a Martian on the space. Doesn't matter. The Martian Invader was taken down by Golden Bat and Nikola Tesla. Pretty good little playthrough there. I really enjoyed that. I really like how these cards work, how the multi-use cards work, right? You have the tops and the bottoms here. So actually, this should have been add 2 to this card's value. That would have been 4. That was still 5, so it still would have destroyed them there. But I really like how you have the multi-use cards with the top and the bottom. It's cool how on both sides of the board there's differences here. So like on this one, you're getting these symbols. On the other side, you are trying to protect the bridges in the city. So that does change up the gameplay a little bit. I like this with the symbols. I think that's really cool. It's fun getting the little Martians out onto the board. I know you can't see them that well, but the little Martians, they add just a little bit more. They kind of give you those peppered in attacks every now and then throughout the play here. I like Golden Bat. He's just one of my favorites. I really like that a lot. One cool thing about this, and I actually haven't done it, I generally don't win when I play this game. So that was actually a pretty good playthrough there. Hopefully I didn't make any mistakes or too many mistakes during that playthrough. But there are these amazing event cards here that can get added that will up the difficulty of the game. So I know like one of them is you have to defeat the minions and the main villain in order to win. This one is their strength grows. Add 1 to the value of all minion attacks. They strike from the shadows. Whenever you shuffle an enemy's deception card, you put it on the bottom. So whenever you get that deception card, you shuffle it and then you put that on the bottom. So you have to go through the whole deck again. Deception cards have a value of 3. There are no weaknesses. They're rooted to the earth. Players' effects cannot cause an enemy to leave its space. So all of these events here really do make the gameplay a little bit more challenging if you feel like the game is a little bit too easy for your tastes. But overall, again, I really enjoyed this one. I knew that in that last round, we were just going to have to take some damage and really just kind of power through. But really, that's all that I have for this playthrough of Unmatched Tales to Amaze. Have you played this game? Have you tried it with other characters besides the ones that came in this box? Next one that I'm going to have to do is Daredevil and possibly Bullseye against Mothman or something like that. I think that would be a pretty cool little matchup there. But again, that's all that I have. As always, remember to like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff really does help us. It helps our channel grow. Till next time, see y'all later.